Hello everyone, this is Navanita. Now we are going to discuss the topic from gravitation. That is, can you get up without bending? So here this is the activity 8 from the gravitation chapter. So here first of all, sit in a chair. Okay, sit in a chair comfortably as shown in here. So try to get up. Okay, try to get up from the chair without bending your body or legs. Okay, so sit in a chair comfortably, and after that try to get up from the chair without bending your body or legs here. So are we able to do so? If not, why? Here, when we are sitting in a chair, right? So here when we are sitting in a chair, the weight vector, okay, the weight vector passes through the seat of the chair. Here, the weight vector passes through the seat of the chair, and the point through which this force acts lies outside our body, right? So when we try to stand, the weight vector of our body should be shifted to the base of the 2 feet our body. So unless we adjust our body to such position, it is not possible for us to stand. Okay, so here the weight vector passes through the seat of the chair, and the point through which the force acts lies outside our body. Okay, so here the weight vector of our body should be shifted to the base of the 2 feet our body. So that's why here, unless we adjust our body to such position, it is not possible for us to stand. Right? The next one, balancing a ladder. Here, try to balance a ladder on your shoulder. Right? So, when does it happen? Here, we need to introduce the idea of center of gravity to understand this observation. Right? So here the center of gravity is simply the average position of weight distribution. Okay, here this is simply average position of weight distribution. So the point where total weight appears to act is called center of gravity. Here the point where the total weight appears to act. Okay, so in a taken object at one point, the total weight appears to act here. So at that point is called here center of gravity. Right? Yes. So here, next one, locating center of gravity. So first of all, take a meter scale. Okay, suspend it from various points. So what do you notice? Suspend it from its midpoint. What happens? Yes, we are taking one meter scale and we are suspended from various points, and we observe one thing here. And when we suspend it from its midpoint, right? So what happens here when we suspend it from its midpoint? So here, the center of gravity of a uniform object, okay, the center of gravity of a uniform object such as here meter stick is at its midpoint. Okay, here the center of gravity of a uniform object like this. Here we are taken 1 meter stick, no? So here is at its midpoint. So the stick behaves as if its entire weight was concentrated at that point. Okay, so here the center of gravity is at its midpoint. Here the entire weight was concentrated at the midpoint, right? So here the support given to that single point gives support to the entire stick. Okay, so here the entire weight was concentrated at the midpoint. That means here the center of gravity at this midpoint only. So here the support given to the single point gives support to the entire stick here, right? So here balancing an object provides a simple method of locating its center of gravity, right? So the many small arrows here, right? So here the many small arrows represents the pull of gravity, right? So here these many small arrows represent the pull of gravity all along the meter stick, right? Here all of this can be combined into a resultant force acting to the center of gravity. Yes, so here this midpoint balanced upward force, right, due to finger. Right? So here the entire weight was concentrated at the midpoint only. Here, this entire weight of this stick may be thought of as acting at this single point. Right? Hence, we can balance the stick by applying a single upward force at this point. Okay? So, how to find the center of gravity of an object? Let's see. So, here the center of gravity of any freely suspended object lies directly beneath the point of suspension. Okay. So, here this is a object, right? So here the center of gravity of any freely suspended object lies directly beneath the point of suspension, right? So here if a vertical line is drawn through the point of suspension, the center of gravity lies somewhere along the line. Okay, so here along the line at one point the center of gravity present, right? So here to determine exactly where it lies along the line, we have only to suspend the object from some other point. Okay, we have to suspend this object from some other point and draw a second vertical line through that point of suspension. So here the center of gravity lies where the two lines intersect, right? So here we suspended the same object from the other points also. So here we drawn one line from these two suspended objects, right? So these two lines intersect at one point. So at that point here the center of gravity lies. Now identifying the center of gravity of a ring. Okay, so here find the center of gravity of ring using the method explained in the above example. Right here, where does the center of gravity of a ring lie? Here. It lies at the center of the ring. Okay, it lies at the center of the ring, as it does not lie within the material part of the ring. Okay, so here the center of the gravity lies outside the body. So here, does the center of gravity of a body exist outside the body? Yes. In the case of a metallic annual ring, the center of gravity lies at its geometric center, which does not lie inside the material of the body. Okay, in the case of a metallic annual ring, the center of gravity lies at its geometric center, which does not lie inside the material of the body. So here, does center of gravity of an object exist at a point where there is no mass of the object? Yes, it does exist. Now, here, shift of the center of gravity and its effects. So, when you stand erect, where is your center of gravity? Right? So, when you stand erect, where is your center of gravity? So, try to touch your toes as shown in figure 20a. And try this again when standing against a wall as shown in this 20 figure B. So, are you able to touch your toes in second case as shown in 20B? If not, why? Here, no. You are not able to touch your toes in the second case as shown in figure 20B. Here, as the weight vector does not fall within the base when we bend, we cannot touch our toes in such position. Okay, so here the weight vector does not fall within the base, that means within the feet, 2 feet. So when we bend, so we cannot touch our toes in such position. Here, what difference do you notice in the center of gravity of your body in the above 2 positions? So here, in the position, that means in figure 20a, the weight vector of our body falls in the base. And in the position of this figure 20b, the weight vector of our body does not fall within the base. Okay?